Here's some exciting news. So I'm going to ask Carrie to come up here with me. This is why I want you to stick around. I want you to stick around with this. We're so excited. We began talking about how we're a community with a cause. We have our 4 to 10 mission. And one of the things that we're very excited about is the opportunity that now Exponential itself also is going to have the opportunity to reproduce. And some of you may not know this, but coming this October of 2020 in Berlin, Germany, we are going to have Exponential Europe. How about that? And part of the posture we try to have at Exponential is we don't really kind of want to be like the Americans showing up, kind of saying, hey, here's what you ought to do. But when we get an invitation from somebody and they're going like, hey, we would love to have you come and help us. And if we can be a help, then we're like, yes. And so I want to introduce you to three gentlemen who I have a ton of respect for. I love these guys. And here, I'm going to introduce them, and then I'm going to invite them to the stage. And when I invite them to the stage, I'm expecting from you a very warm, inspiring, a little bit over the top, very enthusiastic welcome to these guys. All right? One is Oyvind Auckland. Oyvind is just a brilliant networker who spent his lifetime really networking with other people, living out this theme. That opening story I told about, coming together, the 20-some tables, different. He's the guy that made this happen in Europe. He is the visionary behind Exponential Europe. You're going to also get to meet Jürgen Eisen. Jürgen Eisen is a church planter in Berlin. He is going to be making the things happen, putting those dreams into strategy and tactics in real life. And he is a church planter right there in Berlin and a great, great leader. And I also want you to meet just a really dear friend of mine. You all know him. He's been on this stage before. Oystein Yerme from Salt Church of Berlin. He will play my role there. He will be kind of the face, and he will lead the charge in Exponential Europe. So I'd like to invite them to the stage, and I would like for you to give them a very warm, inspiring welcome.
So, Oystein, we hear a lot about the church in Europe. Give us just a glimpse. What's happening with church planting in Europe?
See, people say that church is declining in Europe, and that is the truth. We are 740 million people in 44 nations in Europe, and that's part of the story. But the good story is that this gentleman, together with a lot of people over the last 20, 30 years, has been working in order to see church planting happen. So we have now 17 nations that are in national processes on how to structurally, interdenominationally, and with different church groups and movements, work together to see how we can plant new churches all over Europe. We have 280,000 cities and villages without an evangelical church. So we have a Macedonian call, and we believe that the American church really can help out in Europe over the next decade. So they landed on the moon a couple of decades ago, but this can be the moon landing for Dave Ferguson and Exponential Conference.